welcome to another short little edition of Sports Blabb. I just had a thought the other day and thought I'd share it. I just finished watching the Lindores Abbey Rapid Challenge where Daniel Dubois defeated Hikaru Nakamura, and they both were interviewed after the match, and Magnus Carlsen's name came up. Now, as you know, he lost in the semifinal of that tournament to Nakamura, and it's the second leg of the Magnus Carlsen Chess Tour, and there's two more legs to go, and then the winner from each of the four tournaments that are part of this chess tour will meet in August for the final. And they got a total prize money of the whole tour of $1 million. It's one of the richest ever. Just the final alone's $300,000. But what's interesting is the way that Nakamura and the way that Dubois talked about Carlsen, even though he wasn't in the final, got knocked out in the semis to, like I said, Nakamura. They both revered him and almost put him on a pedestal. And I see that a lot when I read articles about chess and players and Carlsen, because he's considered one of the greatest of all time, if not the greatest. In fact, Hikaru Nakamura on his Twitch channel, perhaps the most popular chess live stream feed in the world, one of the most popular anywhere, was asked by a chat person, a user, someone watching his feed, who are the greatest chess players of all time. He listed Kasparov number 1, Magnus number 2, and Fischer number 3. Let's go back to the interviews after the Lindores Abbey was over. Nakamura himself, who was the runner-up, said that even though I lost the final, it means more to me that I beat Carlsen. It's more important. Not only did he beat Carlsen, it wasn't just a game or two. He beat him in a series of essentially 12 games, because he had to win 2 out of 3 of these mini matches, and each mini match is 4 games and or an Armageddon if you need it. And leading up to the finale with Dubois, he basically said, that I'm the clear-cut winner because I beat Magnus. That makes me, anyone that beats Magnus, is the clear-cut favorite to win this, which Dubois used as motivation. He said as much in his post-game interview. What's interesting about Dubois, his highlight of his chess career, he won the 2018 World Rapid Chess Championship. And he said that meant a lot to me. This doesn't quite rank as high. But he said in both tournaments that he's won, that one in the Lindores Abbey, he didn't beat Carlsen to win the tournament. And he even said it would mean more to me to beat Carlsen than it does to win this Lindores Abbey tournament. And I thought, wow, that is really an interesting statement. Because like I said, anytime I hear about chess tournaments, whatever, and announcers talking, they're like, oh, this player doesn't have to go up against Carlsen. Even though he had a losing streak in the prelims, he's in the playoffs. They've even asked Hikaru, do you want to play Carlsen? Would you rather avoid him? Or you tried to play to avoid him? So let's talk a little bit about Carlsen's credentials. He's been the world champion since 2013. So what is that, about 7 years? He won it at age 22, which is about the same age Kasparov won it. And he's also probably the longest reigning champion next to Kasparov. He was a Grandmaster at 14, a prodigy. In, I think it was 2010, he hit his highest rating ever of 2882. These days, it's 2863. He blew it right through Kasparov. I think his highest rating was 2851. And he's also not only been the classical champion for 7 years, but twice, I believe in 2014 and 19, or is it 18? Well, I'll have to look it up. Bear with me. I'll look it up here. Yeah, 2014 and 2019, he held the Classical World Championship, the Rapid World Championship, and the Blitz World Championship. And as you know, Rapid and Blitz are becoming more and more important in the modern chess world. So to hold all 3 at the same time twice, wow. So he's got a long running reign as champion, highest rating ever. People think he's going to hit 2819. He probably wasn't that far away not too long ago. He's held all 3 titles at the same time. He's defended his championship 3 times, the last one being in 2018 against Carolina. So I just find it interesting, these top flight grandmasters who are super GMs. You know, Hikaru is 18th in the world. I'm not sure. Dubov. I know Hikaru's like 28, 40 something or 60 something for a rating. Dubov is like 27.99 in classical. That all of them, and it's not just these grandmasters, but pretty much the whole lot of them, super grandmasters hold him in such high esteem. They get, I think sometimes when they play him or in tournaments with him, they get psyched out. That's really the point I'm trying to make. You can't argue with his credentials and the talent that is there, and he deserves everything, but you still got to play the games on the board, right? How many times have we played something against someone that's just, and I've done it myself. I fall into that trap too. A tennis player, a ping pong player, oh, he's, I'm rated, 800 and he's rated 1400. Oh my God, I don't have a chance. And then what do? You play to lose. You're thinking losing. When you got to play to win, right? Even though it's scary playing a guy against that talent, you got to believe in yourself and trust in yourself. But sometimes I think Carlsen, his opponents are so psyched out because he's so dang good. And he is that good. Perhaps the greatest in history. It's arguably he's one of the greatest in history over Capablanca, Fischer, Kasparov, Silov, Alkaline, go right down the list. Anyways, I just think it's interesting that these super duper GMs get psyched out, I think, by playing Magnus. His reputation precedes him. So, anyways, that's Sports Blabb. My 2 cents worth, over and out. I wanted to clear something about Hikaru Nakamura. I stated that his rating is like 2846. Well, I meant to say 2746. So I looked it up. Here's some accurate numbers just to be on top of things. His current rating places him 18th in the world. He's 2736. That's his rating. He's a super GM. In 2015, he reached the rank of world number 2 behind Carlsen, with a peak rating, highest rating for him ever, of 2816. Just want to clarify.